all my goodies. So I'll start with gargling coconut oil as a way of pulling toxins, cleaning my mouth, just gargle and spit. And then I'll move to my drink sequence before I get to enjoy my coffee. First one is AG1, just your foundational micronutrients, nutrients, etc. Probiotic, prebiotic, all the good stuff. I normally have powder, but I'm out, so just have that. Then I'll hit my electrolytes. I will then have clean protein, no sugar, and my hydrogen tablets. Helps with oxidative damage, stuff like that. Makes you feel fresh. Normally with the coffee, I'll go L-triacine for cognitive function. I have it on an empty stomach. Some of the stuff I don't enjoy taking on an empty stomach. I might throw some collagen in with the protein, just depends on the day. I don't do all of these every single day. Most of them, most days, but sometimes I cycle it out if I'm not feeling it. Sometimes I'll stage it out throughout the day. Generally, I don't eat my first meal of the day until 11 o'clock, so this gets me started, I think, better when I'm a little bit hungry. And sometimes I just like to feel a little bit hungry because it makes me get after it. I spit in the garbage because it can clog the sink. All right, a refresher. Clean protein, greens, hydrogen, electrolytes. There's no particular order. The drink routine looks silly, I know, but one of the benefits of doing it all at once in the morning, that I get my 2 liters of water. And it's a nice thing to know that you've hit every single one of your markers with your electrolytes, your nutrients, and your hydration all first thing in the morning. I don't normally rush the mornings. I generally don't like to take meetings before 10:30, 11 a.m. so that my morning is paced out with taking care of myself, setting myself up for the day, hitting a 2-hour chunk of creative work, and then getting into the chaos of meetings, phone calls, the inbox, all of those different things. So, we're doing this on camera, but normally this would be over the course of an hour, or more, from starting at about 6:15, 6:30 onward. First drink, second drink. So no, I'm not super into rushing all of these things and trying to get out the door. That sort of defeats the point. Most days I don't take all of these supplements. I try and stagger it depending on what's happening in the day. I generally know within 4 days, 5 days, if I can feel the difference in my body. So I'm not testing or watching markers. I just go by feel. If it feels good, I take it. Doesn't feel good, I don't take it. If I feel depleted in a certain area, I'll take it. I generally don't need to test for those things. I know if I've had a bad night's sleep, and so I will supplement accordingly. But all of it is secondary to first, real whole food nutrients. And this just layers on top. I'm not super precious. I will test new things out. I'll give things a shot. Cycle things out, change the brand. I'm always playing with it. Always evolving, adapting, adding, subtracting. That's how I think about them. I try not to touch my phone before 10:30, 11 a.m. And I try not to touch it after 7:30 p.m. at night. And so if I have ideas, they kind of get written onto very scrap pieces of paper. And then in the morning, I try and collect those ideas, reread them, decide if, I'm going to do something. That idea was for this project. That idea was for this project. This is something I wanted to say to that person. But the main reason is non-distraction. So in the morning, probably at my desk by 7:45 a.m. most days. And I try to have 2 hours of solid, deep work where I'm uninterrupted, both in the work, but also I haven't brought new things into my head. So either I'm thinking about something else, or I'm distracted, or whatever. And that's my biggest priority block of work. And that priority block of work is either part of a long-term project, something that is been going on for a long time, like a book or one of the the shows that we're working on. It's any number of things. But I try and sort of swallow the frog first, get the hardest thing out of the way first. And I really like to hit it right away. So I don't spend a ton of time journaling or anything, because when I wake up, I'm just excited to get to my desk and work. Other times what I'll do is check the day of the week and look at what workout I'm doing. In this journal, I read a lot of different reminders, if you will, things that I've just focused on, things that call me back to myself. And I know it's like kind of ridiculous, but you're getting a little peek inside my head here. I pull out magazine clippings or little stories that I like, and I just keep them with me. Sometimes I reread them, sometimes just having them with me as a reminder. I'm sort of obsessed with this idea of failure. Where's the one here? Francis Ford Coppola, Richard Branson. It's not that these guys are my heroes per se. It's both of these articles were about their failures. And, both guys have had tremendous success, and they've also gone bankrupt. And I think I'm far more fascinated and interested in people's failures than I am in their success. I think it's one of those things that gives me hope in the absolute darkest of times, when things just don't seem to be working. It's those stories of how people had to come back, because whether you're successful or whether you're just trying to make it for the first time in your life, what you have to overcome from failure to success is the same thing, because you're fighting what's going on in here. And maybe it's a routine that you've structured that gets you from A to B. It's a discipline, it's consistency, it's reps, it's any one of those things. But no matter who you are or where you come from, that feeling of failure and then having to overcome it is the same mental process. And so I take a lot from people who failed, and I just like to keep that close. And also on the flip side, it's a reminder that just because you've had success doesn't mean you're not one step away from another failure, right? We're always close to it. It's a 1-star review from a travel documentary I made that was put onto a show. It says, "Most boring travel video ever made. Don't bother watching, 1 star." I don't know who this person is or why they felt the need to write that, but they did, and I keep it around. This one on my second book, Good Boy, Bad Boy. It's a book review, and the critique, I think the premise of the book is good, yada, 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 yada. The best part of the book is its cover. Took 3 years writing it. And the cover is good. I don't mind that, because it reminds me that I can always be better, that I don't need to believe my own bullshit. And again, that you win some, you lose some. Some people are going to like what you do, some people aren't. But the point is to keep doing it, keep creating, so long as that's what makes you happy. So I like to keep the bad stuff close, as weird as that sounds, as a reminder to just keep digging in to what I love and what I'm trying to, give to the world. My friends give me shit about this all the time, but I carry around file folders for each of the projects that I have going on at any given time. So here in front of me right now is, this one is for this shoot. And then I have upcoming speech. And then I have, generally it'll be one of my other shows or podcast preparation. So are they asking questions? Is there research I've done on the host or the guest? That would go in one file folder. and I'll pull all together. Like for me, I try as best I can to keep technology as a tool, not a tether, but like, let's be honest, I'm as addicted as anybody to it. So these are just little cheats, if you will, to try and avoid the constant need to pull up my phone. If you see here, like I have dumbed down my smartphone to just the bare minimum. It's really hard though, because they keep updating. Every time you update the iOS on this thing, they make you put on certain apps. So for instance, up until just last week, I didn't have a search function like Google on the phone. And then it just, after the latest update, it put it on there and it won't let me take it off. It says you have to have a search function. And as much as I want to be as little, or at least reliant on this as I can, it's really not practical. And so I have this ambition, this idea in my head, this delusion, if you will, that I'm going to be able to be like a phoneless CEO entrepreneur. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but you can see my attempts here with my journal and my file folders. So, and then you manage it to your calendar and you just do the best you can. You know, I find you know, I print out the day before, especially if I'm traveling, so that it's here, not there. And, you know, for people to respect your time, you have to respect your time first. And so you still have to deliver on your commitments and like over deliver where it counts. But this helps me pull away from that constant need to be like, oh, I'll respond to that. Oh, I'll respond to that. Oh, I'll respond to that. Because it keeps me here, not in the digital sphere. It's one of my tools to be creative. I don't know how well it works. But I'm always experimenting and tinkering with it. So I try and do all my messaging on the computer, all my emails on the computer. And a typical day will be broken up like this, where I'll have a 2-3 hour creative block in the morning, which is just focus work. That focus work might be on a Naked Revival project. It might be on something else, but it's focused, it's uninterrupted as much as possible. And then I'll have 2 days a week, which are more weighted to calls and emails. It's not realistic for me to have 5 days a week of just being creative. So I'll break up my days on the creative days where there's the big block broken up by 1 hour windows, of which I am usually consuming food and responding to messages that come in via WhatsApp or, you know, like text messages. And then I'll have 1 hour blocks of responding to emails with one more creative block, hopefully at the end, you know, if I can get an hour or two of really focused work. And then it's off to the gym, cold plunge, sauna, family time. So that's generally how it goes for me on a day-to-day basis. I've been doing it this way, constantly tinkering, tweaking for 20 years. Your routines are like the seasons or vehicles of transformation, where, you know, every season in your life something different happens. And much like that with our routines, sometimes we need a certain routine to get us into shape, or to get through a creative project, or to get through, in this case, a public company listening right now, where you have to tailor and tinker with the routine so that it serves both the end goal that you have right there in that moment in your life, but also that you still enjoy the thing that you're doing in that moment in your life. So we have, throughout the course of any given year, maybe 2 or 3 different versions of my routine that speak to the outcomes I'm looking for. Right now, I'm launching Naked Revival. So everything is about the creative side of Naked Revival, the business side of Naked Revival, and all the requirements that come with making us a public company. I like none of that stuff, but I have to put it into this frame so that it gets done and it moves, you know, myself and the company where it needs to go. All right, food, very simple. I'm a simple eater. I generally don't eat after a protein shake first thing in the morning. I generally don't eat till maybe 11, which is my first break from work, of which I will have 4 eggs from the farm, bitter greens of some kind from the farm, as arugula, with half an avocado. maybe a little bit of the drizzle of oil or something like that on it. So that's meal number 1 at 11. Then around the 1, I'll have meal number 2, which in this case here is sardines and cucumber. Cucumber, in this case, also from the farm. I don't want to eat canned fish every day, so we tend to have fish as a protein for dinner, maybe 2-3 nights a week. So they'll generally be leftovers, and I'll break it up and have that during the day. There, before I go to the gym, a little caffeine boost, this time with Super Bowl tea. Not my preference to have caffeine after 2 p.m. in the form of coffee, which I find hits me stronger, so I'll just do tea with a banana. That's like a pre-workout for me. And then after my workout, I'll have a second protein shake, usually Vega, a vegan protein powder, just to break it up, change it up, not just for flavor, but so that in the gut, it's just a different group of nutrients that I'm getting and absorb it differently. So that's almost every single day, a variation of these things. Now dinner is whatever we cook, steak and veg and a carb. Usually I'm not fussed at dinner. I don't count calories. I don't count macros. I just go with the flow in dinner and just keep it lean and, light on any sort of sugar or carb during the day, because I think better that way. And that's the key filter for me. That's how I feel. And I know how I feel by how clear my mind is and how much energy I have, and if I'm crashing. So I don't have to track it. It's a pretty immediate feedback loop with me and nutrition. That's it. It's not that complicated. It's really easy to do every day. So my skincare routine is fairly simple. If you think that any skincare routine is simple, it's a cleanse, a toner, a moisturizer, with a few different products to help with under eye stuff. I have seasonal allergies and pets, and so I'm always dealing with puffy eyes. I try and keep everything travel size because I'm on the road a lot, and so just throw it in the top kit, off we go. Okay. Very simple. Twice a day if I'm lucky, once a day if I'm being realistic. And I made this top kit my whole life. It's like bits and pieces of products that I've made. It's just a sample, but yeah, that's cool. The river's always changing, so sometimes spots are a little more gnarly than others, and obviously the temperature fluctuates too, but there's a good spot right here right now where it's deep enough to just get a full plunge in. There's a great spot for cold plunging. Yeah, this time of year, 3 to 5 minutes. It's probably 40, but moving. Maybe 42, but moving. So it gets cold. There's obviously a whole bunch of different use cases for the cold plunge. Recovery, inflammation, mental clarity, focus, like what is the adaptive stressor that you're looking for? The science on the longevity side is a little not so much these days, but that's fine because it's a way for me to cleanse off the day. I actually prefer to do them in the evening to just get all the shit out of my day and then transition to time with my family. So that's my favorite time to do a cold plunge. Perfect. That's my morning routine.